Doing, buddy?
Been doing good. How have you been?
Good. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, beautiful afternoon.
Oh, it's great.
Really, this weather.
Yeah, great. Well, you got your old hot rod out today. Huh?
I do.
Beautiful weather after all the rain we've had.
It is. Yes, ready to get the sun out.
Yeah. Nice to see some sunlight after a few sloppy days. But
it is. Yeah. I've had enough. It's nice to have some sunny days
it
to
is.
dry out.
So we got together a few weeks ago. We filmed your car. And we had great video, but we had a lot of background noise. We had a freight train, and we had kids playing and dogs barking and all that stuff. So we thought, it's going to be a great day. We wanted to invite you back down.
Absolutely.
So we're here today to look at your car. And what we got here today is a 1966 Chevy Chevelle. First thing I want to ask you is, how long you had this car?
Since 1990.
1990. So it's been 35 years. 35 years.
Yeah, my dad bought it in November of 1990, and in 97 he made me a deal that you can't refuse, as they say.
So it was your dad's, then it became your car.
He had a Marina Blue 67 way back in the day. As life goes on, yeah, he said it's always the prettiest car you ever had, and you always wanted another Chevelle. So it worked out well because now he can tear it up and give it back to me and said it was fine when he had it.
Sure.
So funny how that happens.
Well, we all kind of did that.
Sure,
you know.
Sure.
But yeah, this is a beautiful car. Is that Marina Blue or something close?
It was originally Marina Blue. It's a 1992 GM Poly Blue now.
Real similar.
Very similar. It's unless you get them right next to each other, it's got a little bit more metallic, but back in the day, you saw a lot of Pontiac Grand Ams and Grand Prix over this color.
Absolutely.
It is a factory GM color.
You don't make that connection until someone tells you.
Sure.
And then you go back and you go, yeah, I remember those cars, like Cavalier Z24s. Some of them were this color blue with that silver package on it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right.
So,
GM had a lot of pretty blues back at that time.
Well, they did. They did. They had a lot of colors to choose from. Today, in today's car market, I saw a picture sometime back on a social media page, and it showed cars from the 70s in a parking lot, and there was a multitude of colors.
Yeah.
And then they showed a 2025 photo, white, silver, and gray.
Yeah, so everything's white or silver or gray.
It's so bland compared to the cars of past times. You know?
Marina Blue, purple was a plum
crazy
purple.
You had orange, yellows, greens, bright. I mean, there
Olympic
was every
gold.
Color in the Crayola.
Everything imaginable.
Index, you know, yeah, that's right.
Panther pink.
Yeah, you could get
Chrysler had that.
No, you could get them all. So yeah, and it's great. And that's a cool thing about these classic cars is people get creative with the colors. Some of them want the original color or as close to it as they can get. Some of them like to really jump out there and make something unique and make it their own.
Sure.
So, but I love this on a Chevelle. This Chevelle, the color really pops. It goes well with the Krager SS wheels you got. It's a great combination. So the first thing, so it's been in your family for 35 years. Your dad had it first. Around what time did you become the owner of it?
Spring of 97.
Spring of 97.
I had an old Camaro that was, some say it was in the garage. This one was all over the garage, as they say.
So it was kind of scattered.
It was. It needed a little bit of work, and it was destined to probably never run again. And at the time, my dad was going to sell this, and I told him if I could find the right buyer for the Camaro, I wanted to buy this and finish restoring it, probably like he would have done. I wanted to keep it like it would look like back in the 60s, back in its prime. So that's where the Kragers went. So that was in the spring of 97 when it was decided, and it worked out really good.
Well, you've almost had it 30 years.
Yeah,
you know?
Very
but
close.
It's been in your family a long time, so that's great. So give us a little quick walk around. How old is the restoration?
When it was purchased in 1990, at that time it was really two cars made into one. It was originally Marina Blue, but the original motor and transmission were long gone. But it was repainted in 95 by Twin City Auto Body. Since then, the motor has been redone, the transmission was redone, the rear end was redone. The bucket seats were put on and redone, I guess, in about 92. So I said it's just got some. It shows its age a little bit.
But really, for a 30-year restoration, it's in beautiful shape.
Thank you.
I mean, you've obviously maintained it well, and pick your days that you drive
Sure,
around.
sure. My mother reminds me that these cars were made for rain, but it's like, well, that was 60 years ago.
Yeah,
That's not now.
I'm kind of like you. I don't like putting water on my car.
Yeah, I try to avoid that if all
Water,
possible.
whether you're washing it or you're in a rainstorm, it's always got a place it can go and be trapped.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
so I've dealt with enough rust. I don't want to have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's showing SS badges, but it's not a real super sport.
That's correct. It's a Malibu.
It's a Malibu that's been made into a super sport, and they did a great job, by the way. Whoever did it, whether it was you guys or the owner before, but man, it stands out and shows just like a super sport. So it's a code 136, I believe you said.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah, it does have the correct bucket seats. It has the correct console, all the same emblems. But
kind of hard to tell then, right?
Sure, it is. Yeah, unless somebody looks at the VIN number, they can tell. But yeah, and that is it basically would look just like a correct super sport.
I love how that color jumps in the sunlight. It's really a brighter blue than it looks on most occasions, you know.
Sure, it does really look good in the sun. I thought this color really looked good on sunny days.
No, it's a beautiful car. It is a beautiful car. So let's take a look at the interior, if you don't mind. So
sure.
Okay to pop this?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got the factory console and all that. So that's great.
It is. Yeah, I try to keep it like it will look like back in its prime, and wanted to keep the correct style interior. The radio has been updated, of course.
Well, you've nailed it. It's beautiful. I like the black interior. That's a cool thing about black. You can mix it and put it with anything.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so any color works with that black interior.
And the cars back then had a lot of chrome, which makes a big difference.
They did, and you've got a lot of chrome on this car. So I'm a chrome guy. My kids, when I restored my Firebird, they wanted me to paint the bumpers and, you know, do all that stuff because I did some debadging on it. But I love chrome bumpers. Mm-hmm. You know, I just think they look great on a classic car. So
that's one thing about the cars of 50s and 60s. A lot of them look so good, just the way they are. Not too many. You have to change too much to make them look really good.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah, this one I wanted to keep it looking back in its day. But of course, the Kriegers always look good on these old cars.
Man, them doors close like a new car.
They do.
Maybe better.
They just don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. So I do know because I had a 67 Chevelle. My 67 Chevelle had the radio antenna on the back quarter panel on the passenger side.
That was an option.
Yeah, so I believe, yeah, you're right. I believe that was an option to have it up here on the front fender or back there on the quarter panel. So now you was rumbling pretty good when you pulled in here. Let's have a look at the motor.
Absolutely.
Maybe you can give us a little history of what's went on with this car under the hood. So if you wouldn't mind, I'll let you do that because everybody's hoods are different.
Sure.
Wow, so this is not a small block, is it, Jay?
Yep. You got to keep up with traffic these days.
You've got to keep up with traffic, and you got to give the gas stations some business, too.
Oh, absolutely. They love me.
So we're looking at probably a 454, is that correct?
That is correct. It's a Generation 6 454. The newer ones have a one-piece rear seal and roller cam. Makes it a little bit more for low maintenance these days.
Yeah, there's less to worry about as far as maintenance goes there.
Right.
Got your aluminum performer intake on there. It's a non-air car.
That is correct. Yeah. It's been upgraded with power disc brakes several years ago, but other than that, it's pretty much left alone. My buddy of mine, Matt Shepard, I went to school with, he rebuilt the front end and smoothed out the firewall.
Yeah, and all that looks great, and you got aluminum radiator, of course, with electric fans.
Yeah,
kind of frees up the motor a little bit from that flex fan or that clutch fan. You know, less drag.
Yeah.
So you know, even that little bit of extra power that you gain, guys are after that.
Sure, that's every bit you can get.
They want that extra power. So it's a late '80s 454. Is that correct?
It's like a '99 or 2000 vintage.
Oh, it's even newer than that. So it's like a
Generation 6.
Gen 6. You did say that.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of chrome on it, but for the most part, you're sporting the Chevy orange.
Sure.
And I love that. And another thing I love about these old cars,
it's got the old metal.
No plastic.
Right.
You know, that's a great thing. So it looks pretty much factory correct with the exception of the firewall being smoothed out. and you've got a little bit later model valve covers on it, but you've got them painted orange, and everything looks like it should. When I see a Chevy, especially from the 60s and early 70s, and I pop the hood, I want to see something orange.
Sure, yeah.
You know, and you've got that. So it's great. You got the power disc brakes. It's a non-power steering car. Is that what I'm
is correct?
Yeah.
It's not bad though.
Yeah, I would say once you get them rolling, they steer pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you are about that, but with manual steering, you kind of feel the road a little bit better.
Yeah, but it's honestly like some of the cars, you know, like the old ones from the 70s, you just never feel, you don't have any road feel to them.
Right.
See, yeah, this one does real nice on the street. You can run 87 octane unless you're racing it, which I haven't done several years. But yeah, it's very good on the street.
Well, since you brought that up, have you ever broke anything?
As a matter of fact, yes. Everybody
breaks something when you try them out. Yeah.
These stores, yes. When I was going to buy this car from my dad, for a while it was just a father-son agreement. I had no money had exchanged hands yet, but my parents were camping at Clearwater Lake in southern Missouri, and the car had been sitting for a couple of months. And the last time I drove was when my dad just got new mufflers on it. So I washed it, being a good son, and I drove it down the road, and it was making some weird noises out of the rear end. I was like, well, just got new mufflers, made as a clamp, checked the mufflers, everything was tight, wheel lugs were tight, but I knew something wasn't right with it. And I stopped at that time the Cerdike Yamaha at the bottom of the hill of CC and Festus.
Right.
And everything looked all right, but I knew something was wrong. So I took it easy on 67, got up by CC, went down the hill, and the rear end exploded. I learned very quickly why people don't like C-clips.
So were you getting on it? Or was you just driving the car?
Well, I don't know what my dad believes. He never told me if you believe it or not, but I was driving slow. I knew something wasn't right internally.
Did he know you were going to take the car out?
No.
See, there you go. See, so it was easy for him to say, Jay.
Yeah, nothing says Happy Father's Day like, Dad, I just exploded the rear end on your car, but I wasn't going fast. And he never told me if he believed me or not. So
you'd made a deal for the car, but you hadn't actually purchased
no money exchanged hands yet.
I got you. Well, something always breaks. Now,
sure.
This wasn't the original engine, obviously, in this car.
No.
It was probably a small block car.
Originally, it was supposed to be a 327 Power Glide.
Mm-hmm.
And when we bought it, it had a 427 in it. As the story goes, we got hold of the third owners. They had it since...
Did I hear you right? You said 427?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody had big blocked the car already.
Correct.
Okay.
Supposedly the third owners, they're going to build a race car in an old Camaro, and the motor died in this. And also they had a tunnel ram 427 based in the L88 spec motor, and they put it in this. And evidently it saw a lot of street action back in the 80s.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. A 427 in a lot of Impalas and bigger cars came out with that 427.
Sure.
Maybe some of the Novas, it was kind of a special option to engine. You know, back in those days, whatever you wanted, you could let the factory know and they'd assemble it to your specs.
Yeah, and gas was cheap, and let the good times roll.
Gas was real.
Yeah.
You know, there was actually good pump gas back in those days. So another thing I'm noticing is we mentioned earlier, it's got a lot of chrome on it, but the chrome is really, really in good shape. Is that...
Thank you.
Replaced, or is that OEM stuff?
A little bit of both.
So it's a mixture of both.
The bumpers were re-chromed several years ago, and since then there's been little pieces that have been replaced.
But now that is the original bumpers, just had the re-chrome.
That is correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do know, just from restoring cars myself, how expensive this stainless steel and these wheel wells, the window trim, the back glass molding, that stuff is crazy expensive.
It is.
And if you're lucky to find original stuff, you can buy the chrome stuff. It is what it is. You get what you pay for, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it always helps if you can just find another car, even if it's just a parts car, because sometimes the old parts are 60 years old or easier to work with than a brand new.
Right.
Metal.
Or find a guy that's been working on them, has collected a lot of parts. He's done, and he's got some extra stuff.
Yes.
Because there is companies out there that will refurbish that stainless steel for your windshields and things like that. So, and even chrome wheel well moldings and things like that. So Well, Jay, it's a beautiful car, man. I can't say enough about it. It's got great glass in it, great paint. For 30-year-old paint, I'm just amazed. Got the 396 badges on it, so I mean it surely looks like a super sport car, no doubt.
It does. I really want to keep it like it looked like back in its prime, and keep the correct style emblems.
And you've done that. You've done it. Got the single mirror, rear view mirror on the driver's door, and not the passenger. Everything looks period correct. I think it's a beautiful car.
Thank you.
And that's at Heartland Hot Rods. Obviously, we're going to pick people we know. Jay, you and I and Greg are friends. But at the same time, we have a lot of friends with classic cars, and we want to showcase those. Now, we'll do anyone's car, but Heartland Hot Rods is all about us finding the people with the classic cars.
Sure.
And bringing them onto YouTube and letting other people enjoy them and see them. Maybe you can get some ideas. You don't have to have a show car.
Sure.
To have a hot rod and enjoy a classic car. I want cars that I can drive.
Sure.
You drive your car.
All these old cars, they have a story to tell. And everybody can relate to back in the day when they had a car like this.
They do.
Or they wanted a car like this.
Well, and I've always wanted a car like this. I had a 67, but I didn't have it very long because I was young and dumb. But these cars, I mean, somebody bought this car new.
Sure.
And that story started then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it continues on today.
Sure.
So
it's always fun to go to car shows and somebody remembers these cars when they were brand new.
Well, it'll kind of bring back that memory for them, you know? Yeah. And that's always fun. And it's fun to talk to those people.
It is.
And they'll tell you their story about their 66 Chevelle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to hear those stories, you know?
It is.
Even though this car was manufactured before your time, probably.
Yes, it is.
So
I'm 39 years old.
Oh,
I
I would have guessed 40.
Oh,
I would have guessed 40.
I'll take that.
Jay, thanks again. Appreciate you coming out and sharing your car with us on Heartland Hot Rods. If you like what you see on these videos, please like, share, subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you guys along for the ride. We're going to be filming a bunch of cars all year long. And make sure you go to www.heartlandhotrods.com. The YouTube links will be right there, or you can go directly to YouTube and check out Jay's car, 66 Chevelle.
Thank you. Had a great time.
You bet. Me too.